There was a time when Chinese had nothing, and still they did all they could to help out many of the countries that they considered to be kindred spirits. Many of those countries were in Africa, such as in Tanzania, the famous Tazar Railway, which was built in the 1970s when China was not a wealthy country by any means. And that was China's first concrete attempt at foreign aid. And that was one of the most impactful interventions ever made on the African continent. Those are the memories we have of China of the past. China of today is a lot more consequential, and it's by far Africa's largest trading partner. Same goes for Russia, or in its previous iteration as the Soviet Union. Many of the liberation struggles that existed across the African continent wouldn't have been successful if it weren't for the intervention of the Soviet Union. If it weren't for the material supports provided by the Soviet Union, many of those struggles wouldn't have been successful. During the South African armed struggle, the Soviet Union, Cuba, and China fully supported the struggle. There was only one country which was consistently on the wrong side of every issue, consistently on the wrong side of history on every single issue. And that country was the US. And the US is still on the wrong side of every major issue till now. You don't need to be a genius to figure out why the Sahel states would want to shift geopolitically away from anything US or US related and move toward Russia or China. If you accept that there is no such thing as non-alignment in a polarized world, and non-alignment is basically a way to get yourself killed, and you have to align one way or the other, then it doesn't take 10 minutes to figure out on what side you're going to put your tent on. Because again, there's a player that has always had your back. There's a player who gave you support when you needed it to gain your independence. And then there's another player that supported apartheid and was on the wrong side of every single issue for decades and is still on the wrong side of several issues even now. So why would you want to pitch your tent with that player? That player comes to Africa, and its only objective when it comes to Africa is to secure things that exist under the feet of Africans. Yes, African people are not a priority in any way to this actor. This actor sees the value of Africa as the things that are buried in Africa's soils. Next part 2 is my comment 2.